But to this, MK Party Leader Jacob Zuma addresses his party's first anniversary celebrations in Ekurhuleni, east of Johannesburg. The party was established in December 2023. The anniversary celebrations will serve as both a reflection of the party's progress and a platform for its future vision. Let's speak to political analyst Ebrahim Harvey, who's giving us some of his insights on this. Ebrahim, the impact that the MK party has had is undeniable. One cannot say that the party has been inconsequential in shaping South African politics. Many have argued that if you look at the numerical distribution of votes of MK parties, that the MK party received, if it's in its absence or should it have not existed, the ANC may well have been a majority party in the country. Now we've seen many ANC breakaway parties wither away across the span of time, a few years later, or perhaps an election cycle or two later, COPE being an example thereof. Do you think, and as you've been able to see how the MK's internal dynamics played out, do you think it might be a party that will withstand the test of time?
Good afternoon. Thanks for the opportunity. No, the most dramatic entry onto the political stage MK did. I mean, can you imagine them supplanting the EFF as the official opposition in Parliament? It's dramatic success in a short space of time. I don't know, probably unparalleled elsewhere, if not only in the country but in Africa. That a new party 6 months later captures the extent of the support which the MK did, and replacing the EFF as the official opposition. No, I'm definitely certain that we're going to see a lot more of MK. What concerns me, however, which might undermine their growth and development, especially heading towards the 2026 local government elections, which will be a key and critical test of the relative support and weight of MK party and the EFF. You must remember that, in fact, if you look at it properly, ideologically, politically, and programmatically, there's hardly a difference between MK and EFF. If you ask me, they should be joining forces, the two of them, really. But it's certainly affecting Malema very clearly, as you can see his interviews this week. He's going for the party and obviously throwing a lot of snide remarks in the direction of Floyd Shivambu.
Yeah, just on the organizational strength and health of the MK, Ebrahim, this is an organization whose leadership figureheads and leadership structure seemingly continuously and rapidly changes, with people being moved around, people being removed from the party, being removed from leadership positions. What does that tell us about the internal dynamics that the party has experienced over the last 12 months?
No, not so much the past 12 months. You've got to look at the past 6 to 8 months, really. It's really very serious. I'll tell you, the one thing that I think might count a lot against MK is this internecine strife. You've seen court battles, it's ongoing. And it's not just with the MK party. We've seen the Progressive Caucus also, legal wrangles there. But since we're focusing now on the MK party, I must tell you, it's bound to have an impact, and a debilitating impact on the internal coherence of the MK party. I mean, you can't, within 6 months, can you imagine what has happened? There's been so many legal wrangles, which I think is ultimately going to undermine the performance of MK. And it might even throw a spanner in the works of those who are thinking that MK should be joining forces with other people, other parties in the Progressive Caucus, like the EFF. It's a serious problem, really. Whether it's going to continue, we don't know. But thus far, it's really a serious indictment of MK that just 6 to 8 months after its birth, you've had all these internal wrangles, which is having a very debilitating effect. And one wonders whether it will be able to maintain unity going forward with all this avalanche of legal battles and internal wrangles.
Now, the echo of the MK's impact seemingly has quieted down in the official business of politics as far as our institutions are concerned, chief amongst those being Parliament. If you compare the MK to its predecessing official opposition, which is the Democratic Alliance in the previous administration, the Democratic Alliance was really loud in the parliamentary platform as an opposition, making noise about every bill and every legislative process that they were not particularly happy with, rapidly and continuously raising motions of no confidences against the various presidents that existed during its time as the official opposition in Parliament, and more importantly, trying to capture the imagination of the lawmaking process and using the courts as a means to battle out any political differences it may have had with the ANC. We haven't heard much of a similar type of activity and politics from the MK as far as parliamentary activity is concerned, particularly given that it has a very big platform in Parliament as the opposition, as the official opposition. Do you think the MK may have been too distracted by internal dynamics to really begin focusing on implementing and operationalizing their legislative agenda in Parliament for this administration?
No, there's no doubt about it whatsoever that these internal wrangles had a deflecting, debilitating impact on MK. But don't forget the DA had its own agenda. And don't forget also that race, color, ethnicity plays a big part. It's a predominantly white neoliberal party. MK, on the other hand, claims to be, a formidable left alternative, to quote the spokesperson of MK Gauteng, about the prospects of the party. What worries me really, however, is, he refers to MK as rooted in Africanism. Now, you know what, it worries me. What is meant by Africanism, really? You see, we have a constitution that's grounded in non-racialism and anti-racism. And I don't know, we need to hear a bit more from the spokesperson of the Gauteng MK party about what he means about MK party being grounded in Africanism. But to answer your question, there's no doubt, I think that the internal wrangles has served to deflect the attention of MK in Parliament to whatever agenda or program of action it had, because it's true that they've not made a formidable impact in Parliament as such, because I think they've been distracted by the internal wrangles within the party.
Yeah, Ebrahim Harvey, thank you so much for your time. Really do appreciate your insights.
Thank you.